Welcome to the FPLUSA Press Play Podcast. We are here to do our double Game Week 26 preview. It is officially chip season. We have wackiness of midweek madness with the early deadline on Tuesday. And most importantly, you got your two co-hosts here. I'm Bux, joined by my bestie on the Westie, Mr. Brian Chin. How are you, man?
Feeling good after a nice set of Super Bowl wagers hitting the bank account. So that was a good time to end the weekend. It's a number of fun prop bets. My favorite one that I hit was Cardi B to make an appearance at the halftime show. She didn't actually dance or do anything else other than that. She didn't present, she didn't sing, but it cashed because she was appearing on the television. Oh, that was a fun one to hit during the halftime show. How was your Super Bowl experience, Bucks?
Wasn't filled with as big wins as yours was, but I did hit the lemon lime yellow Gatorade.
So did I. So did I. It's the last.
And you know what? It was
season.
Funny because they spoiled it. They should make sure they don't do this in years to come. But they showed the sideline stirring it like a pot of cauldrons with three witches surrounding it, with like 14 minutes to go still in the game. So that was a nice one. When you know you can go to bed with money coming your way from the old gambling sports book, that is a nice way to start a restful night's rest. But we digress because, Brian, you're talking about the wrong football. We are back. We are here to focus on the Premier League, the global football, as one might say. And despite our wins from the NFL's closing night, I think let's just get right into it. You had a big win in Game Week 25.
Oh,
maybe my prediction was right that the tides are turning in your favor.
Nah, I'm playing loose. I have done differential captain for like 6 straight weeks, and so this is the only week that hit. But hey, Cole Palmer came in with a 40 spot, so you love to see that. I end up on 96 points, just 4 short of a century mark. And actually, looking back on it, because we had some technical issues potting last week, and then my wife was sick, so I missed out on the episode last week. I wanted to run through my bench boost with you, and because I had just wildcarded in 24, I was planning just to rip the bench boost in 25 because I had full bench ready to go. Probably going to be a disaster later in the season, and that would have put me over the 100 mark. And there was a couple big mini league cash prizes that I missed out on from 4 points. I'm in a league where it's the first person in the season to get to 100 gets the whole jackpot of all the entrants. And that would have been a sizable chunk of change. So I'm kind of kicking myself that I did not end up with a bench boost, because I ended up with 16, 17 points on the bench boost potentially. So that was a bummer. But again, 96 points, Cole Palmer captain, Bumo, Bruno, and then triple defense for Arsenal comes good. Sanchez, I've broken Bob the Monster. I brought him in, and he's fucking around multiple weeks in a row. So if he doesn't get a clean in one of the next 2 games, I'm going to be irate. But we're going to keep it going,
you keep
and
rolling
then we're going to do some more chips.
Yeah, great captaincy haul. Roll the transfers. It's a great game week for you.
Yeah, like I said, I think maybe this is like the 7th or 8th game week in a row I'm not captaining Holland, so he will not be a captain the rest of the season for me. So we're just going with it. And yeah, how'd you do, Bucks?
I did great. Less great than you, but 74 points all out. I am firmly into the top 500K. I really like the way my team is trending right now. I keep using transfers to kind of solve one spot at a time, and I think we'll save it for later in the episode, but I'll probably be doing the same thing once again going into double game week 26. What's nice is I'm already on the Arsenal triple up. I'm already on a Chelsea triple up. I have 2 Manchester United in-form attackers, and I don't have any red flags in my team right now. So I feel like I'm just moving with a purpose, and I'm moving from a position of strength as opposed to being forced into making some rash or unplanned moves. So that's always great if you are an engaged manager like the two of us are. you could just kind of put together in 20 or 30 minutes what your overall plan is going to be for the next couple game weeks. And so far,
I haven't done that for months, but
I know me and
you're
Black
doing a good job. You're on pace.
I know me and Black
Wolf
are doing that. And again, it's just nice to see that, like, game week 24, I wrote in my plan, I was planning to take a hit. Game week 25, make a midfielder transfer. Game week 26, maybe a defense. And all of it is starting to stack with my planned chip strategy. So again, not to brag, I'm doing okay, 420K in the world right now, but it just seems like the trend line is going up and to the right. And that's how you want to be with chips in your pocket and with moves to make with a lot of season left to go. So feel really good about that.
We see Black Wolf is celebrating his Seahawks win. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan, so he's celebrating that. And then he matches you with a 74 spot for his 8th green arrow in a row. So well done to him, and he's going to have
just nipping at his heels. I thought I was going to have him because I have João Pedro. He's actually one of my differentials right now, and Black Wolf. I actually got lucky. I think I'm like 12 points behind him right now, maybe 8 or 12 points, something like that. And he had an Aston Villa defender, and he had, I want to say, a Fulham defender. And I don't have any coverage from either of those teams, and both of them had late clean sheet wipes. So that really hurt him, kind of helped the rest of the field. But again, it's a small margin kind of season. And I think game week 25, another pretty good game week around the community. 58 points was the average. There were no goalless draws. So yeah, we like to see it. More goals, more fun, more FPL points.
That's right. As long as Arsenal keep cleaning their lives away, I'm happy with that. They could 0-0 the rest of the season. I'd be super happy with that, and I'm sure Manchester City and Villa would be happy about that as well.
Come on. No, they won't. Let's go to the manager of the game week. This manager has a lot to celebrate. They land in the triple-digit stratosphere, 103 points after taking a -4 hit from Kwanish Duisbakov. Duisbakov. Wow. Look at that. I basically should apply for a translator role at the UN. That was such great pronunciation. The squad is tactical geniuses. This was a total Mensa level genius performance in game week 25. The two transfers that cost a -4 hit, Brian. You want to hear what they are? Saka and Frimpong to Saliba and Palmer with the captaincy. So, just the cool 43 points to the plus from that move. Brilliant from Kwanish. And again, alongside Palmer captain, also have returns from Haaland, Bruno G, Bruno F, João Pedro, Szoboszlai, Gabriel, and Saliba. So massive triple-digit score, gets a round of applause.
Yeah.
Well done to the tactical geniuses that were running away with it.
Such a bizarre 8-pointer from Sobo as well. Just getting the just unreal free kick goal, his second, just absolute rocket of the season, and then gets some DEFCON mixed in there, and then gets a red card.
Well, the funny thing is that goal, that sequence at the very end of that match, let's just talk about it for 10 seconds. I think it was the right call, all in. I think the refs and VAR, I don't have a lot of good things to say about them, but I think they really nailed it in this instance. But that goal being not allowed, Szoboszlai fouls Haaland. Haaland was going to score, then Haaland fouls Szoboszlai from keeping the ball out. It was a red card, but I actually think that the Cherky owners are the ones most hard done, as well as the bettors who maybe had the over of 3.5 goals, because the ball went in. So there was kind of no reason to reset it. They should have just let the ball go in, give the red card, end the game. It was over anyway. Who cares?
I'll tell you what. I was watching that real time, and I'm like, come on, Haaland, you can do it. Just kick it in the back of the net. Go. Because that would have put me exactly on the century mark, and I would have hit that jackpot instead. Nothing comes to fruition. My
Greek mother-in-law would say, po, po, po. You wish, you want, and you don't get it. Sorry, baby.
Yeah. That game was very interesting, right? Not a lot happening. I think Haaland missed a few good opportunities early, and then from there, just drama. Last-minute drama. So what was your thoughts on
the last 20 minutes of that game? Were like box office. That's why we love the Premier League. You feel that Szoboszlai free kick masterpiece goes in off the far post, right into the back of the net. Donnarumma rooted to the ground. He doesn't even move. He doesn't even flinch. The guy doesn't. He's 6'8". He doesn't even make an effort to save it. It was so perfect. And yet, and we're feeling like, oh, Liverpool, they're going to get it. This is going to really like upset the title race. Liverpool into the top 4. What's going to happen now? And then all of a sudden, it just kind of switched on ahead, and Man City get the late run from Bilva, Haaland assist, Haaland penalty. I don't think that was ever a question. That was a clear penalty. Just the scenes. This is why we love the game of football.
Yeah, I was going to give some props to Bilva, who is very old and can't really move too well, but that was a very savvy vet move right there to get on the end of that and put it away to tie it up, and then chaos at the end. So I mean, I want to see more goals from some of these top teams instead of 0-0, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, and it was a really fun match. I mean, the spectacle was on full display. Yeah. All right. Speaking of the spectacle, we enter double game week 26 preview. It's time, the first double game week of the season. Now, let's just give some wisdom to our listeners, for the newbies especially. What does a double game week mean, Brian? Who's playing twice? And anything else managers should know about double game week 26?
Well, if you're listening to this podcast, you're very likely an engaged manager. So double game weeks are one of the most fun points of the season, where you see a lot of wacky score lines hopefully stack up to give you FPL points. So this week we're going to see Arsenal and Wolverhampton in a double game week. They will play twice in a matter of days, and hopefully I'm going to have some chips active. So I'm hoping Arsenal really lay it on thick from an FPL perspective.
Yeah, and it's an interesting double game because it's the bookend of the Premier League table. We have 1st and 20th each playing twice. And what this just means is that it's an extended game week due to some conflicts with other competitions that are happening. So like Brian, my lovely co-host, said, Arsenal play at Brentford and at Wolves. And then Wolves will play at Forest before hosting Arsenal. So whereas all the other teams in the Premier League are going to play once, these two teams play twice. And it will still count towards the same game week score for FPL in 26. And this is why we have been banging the drum for a couple of game weeks now about making sure you are set up with free transfers to get to a triple up on Arsenal, because they have those friendly fixtures. Now, where chips come into play is, they're playing 2 away matches despite being heavy favorites in both. So, I just think this is pretty interesting. The structure of this, when it comes, we know who's fit, and, they won't have other distractions happening in the middle of this game week or kind of right after with Champions League or FA Cups or anything like that. So,
yeah, we're very fortunate that Arsenal did not incur any injuries to
exactly. Great point.
Switch things up. Like, we already knew the Saka news from a few weeks ago, so most people have moved him on. And then to have a triple up on Arsenal defense or Rice all come through unscathed in a good moment. So that's very usually if an injury happens to one of your starters in a double game week, you're 100% taking them out and bringing another double game week player in. So I think most people who don't have a transfer to make probably just roll going into this next week, but we'll see how your team's shaking out later, Bux. But I'm looking to roll and then activate some chips.
Yeah, so I think really the big kind of team in focus will be Arsenal in game week 20, in double game week 26.
Triple up
now,
mandatory.
And I think if we really look at their team, right, their defense is really under the microscope here. They will have probably one of the highest clean sheet odds, definitely in that Wolves game. They should be the highest of the game week. And then they'll probably be in the mix like top 5, top 6 against Brentford, even though they are on the road. So I think really the question becomes, are we overcomplicating things? Should we just triple captain in the year of DEFCON, in the year of Arsenal being the best defense in the sport? Should we just keep it simple, stupid, and captain Gabriel, or triple captain Gabriel even? What say you?
My triple captain is live on Gabriel.
Ooh,
that's
okay.
100% locked.
Do you have any rationale, or it's just a vibes pick?
Well, considering I got, a 2-point blank from Erling Haaland at home versus fucking Leeds earlier in the season that sent me into a further tailspin. I am very excited about the floor of Gabriel. I think if he doesn't get 8 points in this double game week, I would be pretty surprised in total. And then he has the upside of 20 points, really, 21 pointer.
Even higher, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty locked
you could
on it. I think
dream, right? About like a 24 pointer. He gets a 15 and then like a clean sheet, DEFCON, and bonus 9. That's definitely in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, because of the way Arsenal just stymie and squeeze the life out of their opponents, I don't see him often getting the DEFCON versus these opponents in which they have such high possession. But, it's available as a tool, and just his threat on set pieces and just a clean sheet. I haven't seen the odds yet, but I'm sure it's, over 50% pretty easily.
Yeah, I think it's combined, 36 or 37 at Brentford, and I think 50 or 51 at Wolves. So yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah. Yep. So, that's where I would be. It would have been more interesting if Saka was live and like firing a bit more in form for some folks to maybe triple captain him. So,
how about Gyökeres?
He's not.
You tempted at all if you had him?
I mean, is he going to start? Would he play 30 minutes? He's played sub 60 minutes in a bunch of the last matches, 3 out of the last 4. So don't like it for a triple cap.
Okay. And then how about Rice?
Differential is interesting, but maybe I guess you would assume he's on pens if he's going to be on the pitch for Arsenal. And after just seeing Wolves capitulate and give a bunch of stupid penalties away to our Chelsea Blues and having Palmer bag those in the back of the net, I would be surprised if they don't get a pen from these 2 games. So could be interesting, but Rice just doesn't do it for me. I mean, he has a high floor, but a lower ceiling is what we've seen. He had that hot streak where he was banging in goals and putting in some double-digit performances, but it's been a sea of 5, 3, 1, 3, 3, 17. That was his last haul in game week 20. So I'm probably would avoid that.
Yeah, and I'm a manager who just brought in Declan Rice. Of course, he scored 1 point more than Elliot Anderson, so that's a little bit of a W in my book. Take any free points you can, any way they come. That being said, I messaged this in our group chat. It's like I made the transfer, and then I messaged even before the deadline went. I was like, damn, I just made this move. I feel nothing. I was like empty inside because yes, it's a good move in isolation. You get the extra fixture for Declan Rice, right? You get a good midfielder from the best team in the league. But just with Noni now taking some corner kick, there's just a little bit less route to goal and route to points for Dex right now. And so even though he scored the same amount as Timber, it just was like kind of a blasé move and not so exciting. So I agree with you. I think if you're going to captain, and especially if you're going to triple captain, I feel like it really has to be either Gyökeres, which is probably the differential route, or Gabriel, which I think is going to be the most popular kind of community agreement option.
The combined EO on Arsenal defense is going to be through the roof.
Insane.
It's going to be 200
like 340, something like that.
It's going to be crazy for sure. So let's switch over to Wolves. Oh, actually, I mean, are there any other Arsenal attackers you would take a punt on? Would you take a punt on Noni or Trossard or anything?
Noni,
Probably
I wouldn't,
not, right?
but I feel like Kai Havertz. I mentioned him last episode when I was doing it and just talking to myself, and I really feel like that's the punt. If you are like at your rank, Brian, and you already didn't have triple Arsenal, I feel like Kai Havertz is the one who could get a mega haul. Right, he could come off the bench and get an assist or a goal, and then he can get a goal and assist in the game that he starts, whatever order that is. So I feel like he's the spicy meatball pick, but probably I would go Gabriel as the safe and high ceiling option, high floor, high ceiling.
Havertz is 7.3 as well. It's like you can't pick him as
he's
forward.
A little expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
That being said, let's go to Wolves because I think they are the team that is kind of the big swing this game week. If you don't have any, I think probably safe to just skip. If you are intent on getting a 4th player into your draft for this double game week, probably Mane is the easiest one to slot in, or Tolu, I believe. Tolu, is that how?
I don't know.
He scored a goal against Chelsea. He looked excellent. He's their kind of new striker. He has no competition. I think he's like 4.6 million. I like him as the first choice option, and then Mane would be kind of the easiest to slot in, cheap.
Tolu.
Yeah. Mane, I believe, is playing in midfield technically. He's kind of their number 10 right now. He also looks good. He's a great talent. But I think just avoiding Wolves in general is probably the move.
Yeah, this Tolu guy, it actually looks pretty decent on the eye test, but he's 5.4 million. That is an absolute no-go.
Mane or bust. Mane or probably. Keep your money.
I'm going to start Mane in this and hopefully get my 4 points. He did have a just amazing attempt on goal versus Chelsea where he
had a disallowed goal.
A great, fantastic. Was the outside of his foot? I don't know. It was kind of like a chip shot type of thing that came out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit! Almost wiped the clean, and then 2 minutes later, the clean gets wiped anyway. So
yeah, the Chelsea have a way of doing that. Now, one thing is, if you look beyond Arsenal and Wolves, which of course it's a little tantalizing to just focus only on the doubles. I think there are 4 other teams where, if you're not using a transfer, you're already set with Arsenal triple up. You don't want Wolves. I think these 4 other teams need to come into the considerations for your watch list. And that's because of fixtures and also form. So I'll just go through those quickly. Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Manchester City. Brian, you think you getting hot and bothered by any of these 4 teams and transferring a player in from them, or not moved?
Yeah, Morgan Rogers just continues to trickle along points. You're never going to captain him, but I do have him on my watch list for those.
And he plays matches. In 31. Yeah.
Yep. He has Brighton at home this week. Brighton stink. Leeds, Wolves, Chelsea, United, West Ham, NFO, Sunderland. Pretty good run. Fulham, Tottenham, Burnley. Very solid run. You'd be happy to.
He could be a season keeper if you bring him in.
So, not playing any of those big 4 types of top 4 contenders for quite some time, and Villa somehow keep getting some solid results. And I think, he's had a couple double-digit performances, but I really see him as a single goal or assist type of player. But
yeah, he's like a 10-pointer.
He has gotten bonus points when he's gotten assists in the past because of all his other actions in the game. So I think he's a good pick.
90-minute man, also good team. Good attack.
Bournemouth, I think is a stay away for me. I actually have James Hill, who's putting back-to-back 7-pointers on my bench, and he's 3.9 million. So if you needed to free up funds to enable an Arsenal, player elsewhere in your team for this week, I think he's a great option. West Ham, Sunderland, Everton, Brentford, Burnley, those are all solid fixtures, and he's starting at center back at 3.9. So, he could do worse. And he got an assist this week, which is somewhat surprising. I actually didn't see the highlight of how he did it though.
Yeah, he's a great player. I think those are good shouts. For me, I think the team that I need to look at most seriously is Crystal Palace. Now they're coming off the back of beating Brighton on the road 2-0. They seem to have their first choice defense back fit, which is important. And they play, let me triple check this right now. I believe they play Wolves and Burnley, both at home in the next 2. Burnley followed by Wolves in 26 and 27. So it just feels like maybe Munoz is too expensive if he's not getting DEFCON. But I feel like one of Lacroix, Richards, or Sarr become a serious option for at least the next 2 game weeks. And I'm looking at one of those defenders for my team right now, and it just feels like yum. That could be 16 easy points when it comes to Burnley and Wolves, both at Selhurst Park. That tempt you at all, or you're not making defender moves?
It's tough because I think a lot of the defenders are putting in impressive stints. You're going to see so many defenders above 150 points this season, and a lot of them clearing 180. But it's just so hard. If you're going to bring in a defender, it has to be for a long-term type of move.
Exactly.
I don't like chopping and changing them as much unless we get approached to double game weeks and blank game weeks, and then you have to have some transfers to do that. But in this stretch, I try not to make defender transfers.
Okay, so And then I just want to ask, like, if you had to make a defender transfer, would you go Villa, Bournemouth, or Palace?
I don't know.
Probably Villa because they play in 31, right?
Yeah, Villa plays in 31. Like I think Richards has still been good value. I think he just came off an 8-pointer in this game and has
two
had
bonus.
a goal recently. So like I think at his price he's very appealing. If you don't have to play him in playing game week 31, so they have Burnley, Wolves, and Leeds 3 out of the next 5. So I think Munoz has looked like a little bit off of it since coming back from his injury. Like he doesn't look fully fit and just a machine like he has been
at the end of the game. You know, if Strand Larson finishes that, Munoz was on a monster haul. He would have had the assist.
Yeah,
so small margin, but I hear
he's expensive, but I think he's probably like one of the higher ceiling players. And you know, if Sarr and Brennan Johnson and JSL are gonna start to find
switch your brain on.
yeah, and Jigba. I think those are interesting fixtures for them.
Okay, I just wanted to get your sense.
I don't trust Villa's defense at all. Like I feel like they win a lot of 2-1s or 3-1s. Like I don't know.
Villa have been one of the teams that have overperformed their place in the table on the XG front by the most in the entire league. So I think if XG were true, right, if the analytics expected result bore out in real life, they would actually be outside the top half of the table. So just food for thought there when it comes to considering Aston Villa assets.
All right.
Now let's talk quickly. Szoboszlai, he has a red card. He's going to be suspended. So I think the long-term fixtures for Liverpool are excellent, but considering he's now a midfielder, not so cheap, playing out of position as a right back, kind of think he's a must move. Do you agree, or you would hold?
That's a good question. I mean, NFO, West Ham, Wolves in the next 3 after he misses this Sunderland match. So like those are all pretty good fixtures.
Maybe
for him
you
to
keep him.
Chip in. I mean, what is he? He's sub 7 million, isn't he?
I think he's 6.8 million, something like that. He's not cheap, but he's not. Yeah, he's not blowing up your structure.
Yeah, I guess. Do you have anybody in that price bracket that's like definitely top of mind, like Morgan Rogers, Sarr? I guess you could go to Sarr.
I like Sarr. I think Sarr is a short term, make the swap, and then maybe in a couple game weeks, then you use someone like Declan Rice or Mbomo and move to Verts instead of Szoboszlai. That way you get your Liverpool coverage, but you kind of upgrade their positioning on the pitch. You rate that?
These are good. These are a couple good fixtures for Palace.
It's hard to ignore. You play the 2 bottom teams both at home back to back. Kind of love that.
How much is Sarr? 6.3 probably?
Yeah, he's cheap.
Oh, cheap. Okay.
Yeah, Brian's having an in real life kind of emergent moment with his brain chugging along there. He's like, I might have to get him.
Yeah, because I went with Harry Wilson, and I am 0.1 short now of getting Sarr in one move.
Brutal.
Yep. That type of season.
Them's are the breaks, right? Yep, it's like, I wish I could have everyone.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but I'll probably bench Wilson this week. I don't know. Are there any other sub 7 million players you're interested in? I mean, Bruno G just continuing to haul his ass because he's firmly on penalties. He's 7 million, so he's a few more expensive. But I mean, he missed game week 23 and 24 with injury. He's got 11, 3, 11, 10, and 10.
The thing is with Bruno G, when he plays at St. James Park, he's like an elite FPL pick. I think Harry Wilson, you could comfortably start him away at City. I think there'll be goals for both teams in that. And I know I have Harry Wilson still in place. He'll probably be starting come the deadline for me.
Looking at this Bruno G game log, it is nice. He's got to be top 5, 7 this year in points.
Yeah, he's up there. And every time he gets an attacking return, he gets 2 or 3 bonus. He's like a vacuum for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you had him and Rice all season, just set and forget, and then moved around your other premiums, you're looking real nice. All right, Bux, we got a couple more minutes here.
Yeah, one last thing. Let's just talk about Chelsea. They're both of our team. So what needs to be mentioned is that they do not double. We don't have a confirmed double for them as of yet. and they don't blank in 31, but they have great fixtures for the short term. And then I think they play Arsenal away. I want to say it's in game week 28. So I think they are a short-term hold, but unless you have Cole Palmer, I think probably, specifically I'm speaking as myself with an Enzo Fernandez spot in my midfield. I think he is a player that needs to start being on your planner to swap out. And yes, he is playing 90 minutes. Yes, he is passing the eye test and the analytics test. But I think the Chelsea fixtures come March are just like, they are a minefield of tough matches away.
I'm tripled up right now, and I have to save at least 2 transfers to deal with this because game week 28 they have Arsenal away, followed by Villa away, and then Newcastle at home. So that's a tough little stretch, and then they kind of just continue to be bad for the rest of the season. Not pretty.
So I think that's something to be mindful of. I mean, I have eyed up probably taking at least one hit to deal with a Chelsea issue in the next couple of game weeks, because again, I'm trying to be aggressive each and every game week until I start using my chips. So that's my plan right now, and I just wanted to make sure that our listeners heard our perspective on that.
Nice.
I think let's get out of here. Let's close out with our transfer plans and captaincy show.
Well, Bux, I'm coming off of a 35K game week rank, so it can only go downhill from here after that massive haul. But I will be triple captaining one Gabriel and hoping for some points, and then I think I'm just going to roll. I think the only question in my team is whether to start Wilson or Krupi Jr. This game week. So, what are your thoughts between Krupi Jr. and Wilson?
What are the fixtures? I think Bournemouth are playing Everton. Is that right?
Away. Yep. Away, and then Wilson's away to City.
I think probably Krupi gets the nod there. The issue is Wilson is more of a 90-minute man. So there is a chance that, I don't know, that's really a toss-up, I think. I'm going to take a step back and let that breathe.
That's the only coin flip I have tonight. I think I'm going to end up playing Wilson just... because I could also see Fulham being down 3-0 and then he gets a random attacking return at the end of the game.
Fulham and City tend to play exciting goal-filled matches. It's not quite the same bogey level team for City that Spurs are, but Fulham have definitely played them tough in the last couple matches.
Yeah, and I've loved Krupi as my enabler. He's got 8 goals on the season, but he doesn't have a single double-digit haul. So if there's ever a point where Wilson bags some kind of free kick or gets an open play goal, he's he could be on a double-digit haul pretty easily. So
I'll probably to points. Yeah,
exactly. So that's where I'm at. Don't love starting him. I wish that would have been Sarr at home versus Burnley, but alas. All right. What about you, my friend? You got some moves to make, right?
Yeah. So I have one free transfer, 1.6 million in the bank. I'm in another tough position. I'm kind of looking at it, and it's like Nico O'Reilly blanks in 31, a Crystal Palace defender blanks in 31. Probably just rip the Band-Aid and go for the better fixtures and the better defense. So my thinking is I'm going to swap Nico O'Reilly to Lacroix. I'm going to get some Pamplemousse in my team, and I think I will be also triple captaining Gabriel, though I have not hit the chip as of yet. And the really thing that's swinging me, I want to give a peek behind the curtain, is the fact that I only have 2 Arsenal defenders. And it feels like you actually made the right move. Going the triple Arsenal defense gives you the option, I feel like, to then just normal captain Gabriel. But in order to keep up with the community, I really feel like you need to have those 4 Arsenal defenders, right? And so if you have 2 of them and then you get 2 extra, then you cover it. You have 4, whereas you're going to have kind of 5.
All it takes is 1 goal from Rice, though, and then you'll be on the upswing, from having 2 defenders plus an attacker. So you just need 1 attacking return, I think, in this double, and you'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think Arsenal win both games. I actually am wondering if, as a double Arsenal defense owner, if I should just swerve, if I should just be contrarian, right? And maybe the the upside chasing move is to captain Rice and just hope that Arsenal concede.
No,
you think that's too? I'm playing scared.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to do that. There's better opportunities to fade, other teams in double game weeks. You don't fade Arsenal defense. Best in the world.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you're in a position, you have 3 Arsenal assets and then you're going to be triple captaining, right? So that's like, what is that? That's 500%.
That's right, Bux. Well, you'll have to noodle on that in the group chat. I got to go.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much for
potting. Think offline. That's a dangerous and dark place for me to be. I don't using those brain cells for FPL purposes. With that, I think let's get out of here. It's been a quick episode. We are turning around to a Tuesday deadline. This will be in your feeds Monday afternoon or Monday evening, depending on where you are in the universe. We wish you green arrows, lots of joy, and best health as the calendar stays cold into middle of February. But we stay hot with some green arrows. Ain't that right?
Let's get it, baby. See you soon.
Later.